What's going on, everybody? Welcome back for another video. In this one, I'm bringing you along with me to stripe some FIRELANE at a Sonic. Now, the reason why I'm having to do this by hand is because I made a rookie mistake in the setup process for my line striping machine. The other night, I actually set up the machine and forgot to strain the paint. And as a result of my lack of straining the paint, I got a massive paint clog in my system. I actually had to disconnect my suction tube, my return hose. I had to take all that off, pour lacquer thinner down it. It was a long process, but I had to get this job done for the customer. Since I was kind of on a time crunch, I decided to do it by hand. Now, I know there are a lot of guys that actually watch the channel that don't have a line striping machine, so I thought this would be some good content to upload for some of you guys that actually are thinking about getting into striping but don't have a parking lot striping machine yet. So maybe this could kind of show you the general idea of how to paint and then do some stenciling in the process. It didn't take me too long to stripe the red FIRELANE. I just wanted to make sure that I gave it a good even coating. I'm just using a basic can of white spray paint. Again, preferably, I would have rather used my line striper. But I ran into a paint clog the night before, and it took like 2 days of fidgeting with it to get that thing unclogged. And I just couldn't wait anymore. I was on a deadline. I told this customer that I would have this job done a week ago. We've had massive rain over the last 2 weeks. So this was my opportunity to get it done, and I needed to get this job done. So I decided to hand roll it and then spray paint the stenciling on there. It doesn't look as good as I would have liked it to, but it still looks pretty good from doing it by hand. As you can see, there are options for you if you're just getting started and you don't have a lot of money to invest in a machine. This is something that you can do. Now, I would recommend, if you're going to at least try to do these by hand, to invest in some better stencils. This FIRELANE stencil that I have right here is like one of the cheapest ones you can get. The material is not that thick, and the stencil is essentially falling apart. With that being said, if you're going to initially start off striping things and stenciling things by hand, which you can do, just make sure that if you are going to do that before investing in a line striper, that you make sure that you get a high grade, thick, durable stencil. Now, you can pick up those stencils at 1-800-stencil.com or whatever shipping stencil manufacturer that you pick. That's just who I use personally. But in this case, I should have got a better stencil. I've been using this stencil for the last 6 months, and as you can see, it is falling apart. It still does a good job, but I still need to get another one. But when you're spraying at 16 to 1800 psi, then your lines are going to be a lot more crisper, if I could say it that way. But since I'm using spray paint, the lines are very much passable, still looks very good, but you can obviously tell that it was sprayed with some spray paint. It doesn't have that same clean look. But I wanted to bring you guys along with me, really to remind you always, always, always strain your paint when using latex, or you're going to have to do this, which there's nothing wrong with stenciling it by hand, but it takes a lot longer to do these types of projects. I think this is like 800 foot of FIRELANE, and I had to at least do, I say, 400 to 300 foot by hand. So it took a lot longer simply because I did not strain my paint. As I said in the beginning of the video, it was a very rookie mistake, but I was trying to get some of these jobs knocked out, and I thought I could set up real fast and get it done, but I just made a rookie mistake, and I had to pay for it. But I finished the job, the customer was happy, and that's what matters the most. If you forget to strain your paint before you set up your line striper, you will be doing these by hand. Anyways, thanks guys for watching. We'll see you in the next video. I am out.